Hi everyone, welcome to the 24th Pan-European Conference. Welcome everyone. So today it's me, my name is Tina Skocaj-Skok. I will be your presenter, moderator. I know you are used to seeing Blanca, and she is of course sending her most warm regards, but today it will be me. In the comfort of your commentaries, we will have Ida. She will take care of the questions that you can pose. She will see some commentaries that you might add on the presentation. She will put a link to apply for the certificate, and so on and so on. Okay. Before we will go on to the actual introduction of our presenters, I would take a moment to celebrate, because it's been 2 years since the pandemic has hit the streets of the whole wide world, and it's been also 2 years since the Pan-European Conference. So at this point, we would like to thank everyone who has been with us, who has also joined in maybe today for the first time. Warm welcome. We are most happy for your good ideas. Keep them coming, and we will present them. Now we will start with the short introductions of our presenters. We have 3 today. So first we have Ivana Miletić. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Then we have Jelena Kovačević.
Hello. Hello from Požega, Croatia.
Hi. And last but not least, Kyriakoula Georgiou. Hello.
Hi from Cyprus.
Hi. Maybe now you can say 2 or 3 words about yourself. Maybe we start with Ivana.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Ivana Miletić, and I teach English and Italian in secondary school for natural sciences in Split in Croatia. I'm honored to be one of the speakers today. I'm a teacher trainer, and my students are teenagers, and I've been working with them for 10-ish years, trying to promote language learning and multilingualism.
Okay, thank you. So we go on to Jelena Kovačević.
Hello once again. I'm an English teacher myself as well at the secondary vocational school in Požega in Croatia. I have got some 25 years of teaching experience. I coordinate Erasmus Plus projects in my school, and I take pride with providing my students with numerous opportunities and encourage them to enroll into different contests. I have been promoted into teacher advisor and have been awarded by the Ministry of Education as one of the most successful teachers in Croatia in 2021.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we have Kyriakoula Georgiou.
Hi to all. I'm a mathematician teaching to a vocational school in Cyprus, but I have finished PhD in the University of Cyprus, specialized in the use of educational robotics in preschool. So today I'm presenting a way of how you can teach educational robotics to preschool children.
Okay, well, thank you. So now we will go to the actual presentations. We will start with Ivana Miletić. Okay. So Ivana, the stage is yours. We will share the presentation promoting multilingualism.
Okay, thank you. Can you see my first slide?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so the title of my presentation is Promoting Multilingualism, and I'm going to talk about the different things that educators can do either to encourage students to start studying languages, or for students to stay motivated and continue studying languages, because I believe that by promoting multilingualism, actually we promote the atmosphere of accepting diversity and increasing the tolerance towards other language groups and cultures. I believe it's also important that we allow students who already speak a different language to be proud of their language skills and their language heritage. First of all, I would like to focus on the concept of multilingualism. So multilingualism is basically, according to the European Union, the ability of societies, institutions, groups, individuals to engage on a regular basis with more than one language in their day-to-day lives. European Union mentions translanguaging. That's actually passing from one language to another in the same situation. The Council of Europe and different governments are trying to encourage language learning by trying to improve the effectiveness of language teaching in schools. So this is what I suggest that educators do in their classrooms. I believe that educators have this goal to teach students to be tolerant to other people, to other languages, and to other cultures. And by promoting multilingualism, we get to fulfill this goal. Also, teachers are trying to put forward this idea of accepting the presence of different cultures, different languages, and by doing so, they teach open-mindedness, which I believe is extremely important. And also we raise awareness of different differences between different people. And this actually is important because differences mean the society's richness. By promoting multilingualism, we also help our students build their relationships with the people around them, with people in the group, acknowledging that it's okay if they belong to a different linguistic and cultural background, and we teach them to respect the others. And by doing so, actually, we help them build a lifelong relationships based on trust and confidence. Furthermore, I believe that language learning helps the students find some common ground because sometimes they get to use the language in some predictable, but also they get to use it in some unforeseen situations. So language is something that renders their interaction with the others possible. We all have some ambitious students who always have this inner urge to do as much as possible to be a step closer to their goal, whether it's a dream job or a dream salary. But there are also some less motivated students, and we have to remind them once in a while that learning languages is a way of investing in their future. Lastly, educators have to adapt to modern age, and we need to assist whoever wants to study languages because our students believe and they know that their language skills and their digital skills are the skills needed for the citizens of the 21st century. It's a well-known fact that there are around 7,000 languages spoken globally, spoken all around the world, but unfortunately the number is decreasing. So one of the reasons why we should try to keep the languages alive is the fact that the number is decreasing, and language is not just a way of conveying a certain message. It's something that reflects our culture, our history, our customs and groups' identity. Also, I believe that many know that people in Europe who speak only one language, people who are monolingual, are in minority. To be precise, 54% of Europeans speak more than one language. Actually, 19% of them are bilingual, 25% of them speak 3 languages, and 10% of them speak 4 or more languages. But unfortunately, not many people get a chance to learn and practice these different languages at home, so they have to rely on the education system. And in order to ensure the quality language teaching, our governments have to invest in good infrastructure, because we need technology, we need internet, we need digital tools. Also, we need qualified and proficient teachers. This is actually what we are doing now. We are exchanging ideas because we need resources, we need practice opportunities, and there is more and more demand and talk about this modern teaching that combines foreign language study and subject study. And in order for this to be successful, our students have to be at a very high language level. So basically, what I suggest that my colleagues do in their classrooms is are the things that you're going to see in these slides. So I believe that teachers should elicit information about the languages that their students are familiar with, and they should use such students as their assistants when introducing a country-related or language-related issue. For example, if there is a speaker of Finnish or Greek or any other language in the class, then he or she can present his or her country or language to other students. They can answer the questions that other students are interested in, and provide answers that are not available in their course books. I believe this helps such students build their self-esteem, and it makes them proud of the information that they have, and also the others can find it very interesting, and it can trigger the desire in the others to get to know another culture or another language. Also, whenever educators know that there are people from different nations in the class, they should take time and learn about similarities and differences between students' culture. For example, these days, there are a lot of children from war-affected countries starting school elsewhere, and if the culture of the newcomers differs, I believe that educators should ask for some culture-specific requirements to pay attention to. For example, some touch or some gestures, or simply the distance between the speakers can be different from one culture to another. And in order to avoid some misinterpretations or some communication failures, students and teachers should be aware of these differences. Plus, it can be a really interesting activity in the class. Also, if teachers want to promote multilingualism, it's good to think of some fun activities that they can do in the class to celebrate some international days, like, for example, European Day of Languages. For example, this year I decided to ask my students to learn by heart several sentences in foreign language. They had to keep it a secret. Each of them got one specific language. So they came to class and they had to recite the sentences in the foreign language. The rest of the class got some points. They competed. They tried to guess the language and the meaning of the sentences, and it was quite fun, and they got interested in some foreign languages. Also, it's known that if a student has some limited linguistic competences, this turns out to be one of the main obstacles for him or her to benefit from the opportunities offered by the European Union or worldwide education programs, youth programs, training programs. This means actually that knowing languages will enable them to benefit more from the opportunities offered by the job market, various job markets, and they are not limited to a single market. So for example, this is what I suggest that educators do. They can make a list together with the students of jobs for which it's crucial to speak foreign languages. It could be, I don't know, a court interpreter, a tourist guide, any tourism related job, from taxi drivers to receptionists, stall sellers, waiters, and so on. So what matters is that they understand that learning languages actually means investing in their future. Also, if the teacher senses that the students are maybe not motivated enough, maybe the student could take some 15 to 20 minutes to ask the students some questions like, why is knowing foreign languages important to you? To make them remember that they're studying foreign languages because of a variety of reasons important for them, whether it's that they want to be programmers, they want to study abroad, or so on. What they have to realize is that they're not in the classroom because of us, because of teachers, but because of them. Also, when trying to promote multilingualism in my school, my colleague and I made a project. It was for students' literature class. When learning about a certain poet or writer, students who knew other languages read in front of the rest of the class the poet's work in the language that it was originally written in. So idea was to show to the others that knowing other languages gives you opportunities. It made them understand that unfortunately, not all good songs, good poems, good novels are translated into their mother tongue. So idea number 7 is something that I do at the beginning of each year. So whenever I get to teach someone a language from the scratch, from the very beginning, I start with finding some similarities between students' language and culture and the target language and culture. For example, every year during the first lesson of my Italian beginners class, I make a list of expressions that are the same or extremely similar in their mother tongue and in the target language. So by the end of the lesson, we have this list of 10, 20, maybe sometimes even 30 words. And I get to say to them, well done. You've just started learning a new language and you can already understand the 20 or 30 words. So keep up and things like that. Also, what I suggest for my colleagues, to do is to take advantage of the fact that teenagers are influenced by their role models a lot. So one of the ways of promoting multilingualism is stressing the fact that people that they admire are people who can speak several languages. For example, Bradley Cooper, Johnny Depp, and many others can speak English and French. Shakira can speak Spanish, English, Italian, and Portuguese. Natalie Portman can speak English, Spanish, German, Japanese, and Hebrew, and so on. So they have to get the point. People that they admire actually think that multilingualism is important. So also we know that music and film industries are very important for young teenagers. So we should always include songs and movies in our teaching. For example, last year when the Italian rock rock band Måneskin won Eurovision, the European Song Contest, a lot of young people started listening to their songs in Italian and got interested in learning Italian. as well. And finally, but it's not the least important thing, it's something that's extremely important. I believe that the students and the teachers should try getting involved in some international programs like e-twinning programs and Erasmus projects to see that knowing languages makes it possible for them to make friends, to learn beyond the classroom walls. So as you can see, I believe that benefits of multilingualism are actually numerous. It can be the facilitated acquisition of other languages, since some languages belong to the same language group, like, for example, Italian, Spanish, French, and so on. So if you know how to speak Italian, it's much easier to understand someone speaking Spanish or Portuguese. It can offer you diverse social experiences. Some research suggested that people who speak several languages are more effective communicators and that they have a better executive functioning skills. Also, as I've already mentioned, they have increased career opportunities and multiplied perspectives. But the basis of this all is actually, in my opinion, motivation. And I believe that by raising awareness about the advantages of knowing foreign languages, our individuals, students make our educators' work much easier. Okay, thank you for your attention. I've got this QR code here for a survey. There are only 4 questions there, and I'm interested the most in the 4th question. It says suggestions or ideas. And if you have some comments or questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
You cannot hear me. I am sorry.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I wanted to say that thank you for your presentations, for presenting us the importance of multilingualism, how to bring it closer to the kids. Everyone is saying hello and thank you for the presentation. For now, we do not have any questions, but every questions that might pop in during this time, we will address it at the end. So for now, that is it with the first presentation, and we will move to the next one. Goodbye, Ivana.
Thank you.
Okay, we are going to Jelena Kovačević. Hello.
Hello again. Hello.
Okay, so
screen, just a second.
Once you share the screen, you can start your presentation.
Is it visible now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. I cannot see anything but my presentation.
We can see.
So
okay.
Hello everyone once again. Today I'm going to present a teaching scenario. With some ICT included. It is actually a fully fledged, fully ready-made lesson that can be used in any and in all modes of teaching, whether it is online, on-site, or blended. And as I mentioned, you will be briefly informed on some 7 ICT tools. The lesson is intended for secondary school students. You can measure your own time. I kind of evaluated or here put 90 minutes as the time needed for this lesson. And the aims are the reinforcement of vocabulary associated with health and illnesses, and also practice of both listening and speaking skills. So let us start. So at the beginning of the lesson, I would ask my students about how they are feeling and actually use this as an opportunity to introduce some idioms related to health, in which students need to categorize the idioms given into two categories. Now, the full exercise can be not only viewed on the link and on the QR code given here, but it can serve you if you are a teacher of English and you want to use any of these tasks or exercises in your own classrooms, you are welcome to do so. So for each task, I will provide a QR code and a bit.ly link. And also in the right-hand side corner, you will be able to see which application this particular task has been created in. Let me tell you something then about the first application here. It's called the Learning Apps. It is completely free and users can find a variety of free templates there where you can create your own teaching material. What is great about Learning Apps that it is that no login or registration is required, and you even have the opportunity to monitor class statistics. Exercises can be created according to available templates from pairing, grouping, number lining, sorting. You can also use audio, jigsaw puzzle, and so on. Quite a lot of templates have been offered here. The next task is this magic wheel, which I would use to motivate students for short personal transfer or discussion on the topic of health. And this task was created in WordWall. Now, WordWall, most of the templates in WordWall are available in both interactive and a printable version. You can switch templates even after the resource has been created, which is a great thing. You can edit any activity. You can share your activities with other teachers. You can see and use other teachers' activities as well. And currently there are around 31 million of resources created on this platform. The downside of WordWall is that you can create only 5 resources using one account. I'm talking about the free version, of course, here. The next exercise is introduction into the terminology related to health and illnesses. And you can see a type of exercise, a multiple choice kind of exercise created here using the EduCandy application. It used to be a website that allowed teachers to quickly create simple games, short interactive learning activities with a specific aim to practice vocabulary, maybe answer simple questions about content. But the portal that allowed teachers to create interactive content has moved, and now you are required actually to download their application if you want to create games. Also, they have decreased the number of games that you are able to create for free down to 10. But the application offers 8 types of games, ranging from crossword puzzles to multiple choice quizzes. And when the teacher creates an activity, a unique code is generated, with which the resource can be shared with students so that they can play the games on their own devices. The next exercise, actually, you can see 2. It provides you with the opportunity to include images as well. Has been created in EduCandy as well. After that, we come to the type of task where the students are required to categorize the words given expressions into two categories, illnesses or injuries. You can view the task on this link. And the application which has been used to create it is called Live Worksheets. Now, Live Worksheets allows you to transform your traditional printable material or worksheets into interactive online exercises with self-correction. Students can do the exercises online, and they can also send their answers to the teacher. Which is good for the students as it is motivating. It is good for the teacher as it saves time for marking, and again, good for the environment because it saves paper and printing. Also, additionally, these interactive worksheets take full advantage of the new technologies. So you may, or students may include sounds and videos. You can include drag and drop exercises, join with arrows, multiple choice, even speaking exercises where students get to use their own microphones. You can use live worksheets to make your own interactive worksheets, and you can also use the ones created by other teachers. You can keep your worksheets private, but there is a limit of 30 private worksheets. The next kind of exercise has been created in the learning apps, which I have already mentioned. It is also an exercise to practice on collocations. You have been informed about the learning apps as well, but this is also another exercise that I have used to practice treatment. This is like a memory game in which students need to match. You can see that images are allowed to be uploaded into the game as well. The following has been made in the same application. Here I wanted to show you. I use the audio recordings, and the students are required to match the pieces of advice with the problems or given by, let's say, prospective patients. Furthermore, we come to the type of task in which students need to give their own advice. This was made using Jamboard. Jamboard is like a digital whiteboard that lets you collaborate in real time with up to 50 people at once. You can write here, you can draw, search Google, you can insert images, you can insert web pages, you can make some sketches, and the image recognition technology would recognize your sketch and actually convert it into a polished image. It is automatically saved to your drive, so you can view and edit your jams from anywhere if you have internet connection. Then we come to the exercise in which students are given a video from YouTube, and I will ask them to answer the 3 comprehension questions. Of course, I'm not going to say anything about the YouTube platform, as all of us are very familiar with it and use it every day in our classrooms. But I may here mention the YouTube Trimmer, which maybe you have not been informed about. It is a fast and easy tool which you can use to trim, crop, and share your favorite part of a video from YouTube online, and you share custom links with your students to your YouTube videos, trimmed YouTube videos. Here is another comprehension question in which students are asked to put the sentences of dialogue in a meaningful order, again created with learning apps. And finally, the last assignment for my students is for them to record a voice message for the doctor. They are given some questions that they need to address in their messages. And when I was doing this, we were in online teaching, online schooling. So I even recorded the message for them as something that they were asked to reply to. So allow me just to share this audio with you.
Hello, this is your doctor speaking. Unfortunately, I am not able to pick up the phone right now, but please leave your message after the tone and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you and have a nice day.
And here students use Vocaroo to record their messages. Vocaroo is a quick and easy way to share voice messages, free service that allows users to record audio without the use of any software. You can easily insert those audio tracks into presentations or web pages. You can share them as QR code, embed them, or download them. And finally, here is an exit ticket that you can use for your students to assess their own work. Thank you very much for your attention. I have not prepared a link for survey. I hope the organizers have. As you know, in Croatia, we do need to get the feedback in order for our presentations to be approved and valued by the ministry. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for your rich presentation. We'll put a link in the comment of YouTube and Facebook for the evaluation of the whole conference, as well as in the Pan-European group on Facebook, where also all the presentations are already available. Okay, so Jelena, thank you very much for now. We'll move on now to the next presentation. Okay, hello, we have Kyriakoula Georgiou. Welcome.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, the stage is yours. This is your presentation.
Thank you. So what I will be presenting today is how we can develop children's computational thinking with educational robotics. So basically, I'm going to give some definition of the computational thinking, but I'm going to discuss why it's important to develop computational thinking in nowadays. And then I'm going to show you how I have designed a lesson to develop computational thinking to preschool children based on the theoretical background of a model called technological pedagogical context knowledge. So let's start. So the term computational thinking includes thought process related to the formulation of problems and their solutions. Computational thinking is a thought process that utilizes the elements of abstraction, generalization, decomposition, and algorithmic thinking. Now, why is it important? Because it represents a set of skills that anyone, not just computer scientists, can apply. It is among the 21st century skills and is considered the basic axis of interdisciplinary approaches. Now, designing the lesson, as I have already told you, I have used the technological pedagogical context knowledge, which is conceptualized as a unique body of knowledge that is formed by the contribution of 5 distinct knowledge bases. So a teacher, to successfully design a lesson using the technology, has to gather together the 5 bodies of knowledge. So you have to know your content, the pedagogical knowledge, the knowledge of your learners and what are their difficulties or even their misconceptions regarding the specific content that you are going to teach, the knowledge of the technology and the technological tool that you are gonna use, and the knowledge of the educational context. So now I'm going to describe how I use the knowledge of each body to design my lesson. So the pedagogical knowledge includes the knowledge of pedagogical practices that are relevant to the development of computational thinking. So I have chosen the problem solving as the appropriate pedagogical tactic to develop computational thinking, as the researchers suggest. Now, regarding the knowledge of the educational context, was based upon the development of sub-skills like abstraction, and the approach that I have used is creating a scaffold while teaching children to use their computational thinking. Secondly, the segmentation, which is how to disassemble a complex task, how to create algorithms, which is defining a series of steps to solve a problem, and debugging, recognizing, finding, and correcting errors. Now, regarding the technology knowledge of educational robotics is considered an innovative learning approach for the development of preschool children's computational thinking. So here you can see Bbot, which has on top of it some arrows which direct the movement of the Bbot. So basically, the child has to choose the correct buttons to guide the Bbot to a mat. With the button clear, you can start from the beginning and put new instructions to the Bbot. Bbot can store up to 40 commands. It was the idea of Papert, which actually gave objects to the children to think with and express their thoughts. Now, regarding the knowledge of the learners and their difficulties in designing the lesson with educational robotics, I had to find in the literature the difficulties that children face while designing a specific path to guide the Bbot. So what I found is that children have difficulties with the concepts left and right. Their relative understanding requires mental rotation, which is understood by children that are above 6 years old. So the children that are in preschool education were going to face some difficulties. Also, based to Sarama and Clementes, the words left and right are a source of confusion for children under 8 years old. So while designing the task and the problems that I had to set to the children, I had to bear in mind all these difficulties. Now, regarding the content knowledge, was how to teach programming language commands. So again, based to the literature, I found that the children has to be familiarized with the basic commands of the programming language. And I had to separate the teaching of simple and complex commands. So I have to design a differentiated degree of difficulty while teaching the commands of the Bbots. So as we proceed to the numbers of tasks, so the degree of difficulty of learning of the commands increases. Now, let's see the structure of the task and how I've designed it to teach programming. So during the first task, children had to learn only move forward, and during the second task, how to move backward. So move forward and move backward, because they didn't consist the elements of the mental rotation, left, right, or left to the left. They consider simple task, in contradiction to the turn right to the turn left. So I started teaching the simple commands and then the more complex. Afterwards, they had to learn simple sequences. So how they were going to press the B-board to go 2 steps forward. And then you can see the combination, forward and backward, forward and backward. And then lastly, I taught them how to guide and navigate B-board to move forward and turn right, forward, turn left. And at the last, they were going to teach them to first turn right and move forward, or turn left and then forward. Now, I had to design the B-board mat so I could accomplish all the knowledge that I have in my hands regarding the designing of the lesson. So, based on what I have taught you before, teaching the first sequences had no difficulty. So I placed the B-board to the starting point, which was the green spot here. And as I've taught you, I pose a problem to the children. So if I wanted to navigate B-board to the first flower, which button should we should press? So children had to decide and understand that we had to put twice the button forward. And then going from the first to the second, you can see here in the table which sequences I have designed. So in each task, I'm trying to set the complexity level to a really logical place, minimizing the cognitive effort of the children, making it more easy for him or her to navigate the B-board. Now, that's all for me. Thank you so much for the opportunity you gave me today.
Well, thank you. We actually also have one question from Mihai, and he is asking how to approach if the algorithm can't be formed. Have you got a plan B?
Actually, this design was tested with 180 participants. It was my PhD. So the approach was easily to form. So if I could show you here in the mat, we were trying to gradually introduce children to algorithms. And I use also scaffolds. So I gave children some small cards that they could place on the ground and try beforehand. And also, if the algorithm couldn't be formed, the children were given again the chance to try again. So it was basically like a trial and error approach, but it is acknowledged as a problem-solving approach. But many children were successfully in this task, and it is necessary to provide scaffolds to the children so they could visualize the path.
Okay, well, thank you for the answer.
Thank you.
I will now just would like to say thank you also for the presentation. For now, we do not have any other questions, but of course, they are saying that it was a great presentation, and thank you. Okay, so everyone, we have come to an end of today's Pan-European Conference. As I said, all the presentations are already available in our Facebook group. If you are having problems with the link to apply for the certificate, we will put it in our group and on Facebook so that you will all receive it. So do not worry. What else to say? We will put the link for the evaluation of the whole conference. It is most welcome that if you answer so that we know what do you think, if you have any suggestions, and so on. Okay, so this is it for today. We will, of course, be here the next month on the 21st of April. If you would like to apply as a presenter, of course, you are most welcome to do so. Thank you once again for being with us. And this is it. So goodbye. Also, maybe you can also say goodbye one time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay.